government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government,
My song.
government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government,
Get him up out of here.
government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government.
All right, let's get Stu out of here, bro. So we gotta worry about him no more. All right. Let's get this guy up out of here.
What they're going to do is they're going to bring you to the interrogation room, Stu, and they're going to ask you. Well, not when it's self-defense. You got to talk. That's your self-defense.
No, you don't talk. No time. You shut the fuck up.
No,
Trust me.
no,
You don't talk.
No, it's self-defense.
No, you don't have to talk. Your lawyer talk. You don't talk.
All right, hold on.
Now you see how arrogant he is, right? I can't get a couple words. Like, no, you don't got to talk. Your lawyers talk. So I'm like, well, that's half the truth. Like, but do you even understand where I'm coming from? You don't got to talk. All right, I'm going to cook on you then.
Hold on.
I'm not claiming self-defense. I am claiming.
I got something for you.
Yeah, well, still, please, you have to claim self-defense. Stand your ground. It's
All right. No, if I claim self-defense, all I have to say, this is what I'm saying.
If you don't talk, it ain't self-defense.
No.
Okay, so again, they're not from America, so they don't know American laws. But if you're in a Second Amendment state, which most of them are Second Amendment states, if you defend yourself and you end somebody's life, part of the state law, you got it. Well, if you want to claim self-defense, you got to claim self-defense. You don't got to get your lawyer. Hey, lawyer. No, if you got one, it's always wise to consult one. But most Black folks ain't got a lawyer. But if it's self-defense, it's self-defense.
Because you don't have to say self-defense. Your lawyer says self-defense.
Why would you need? Oh, wait. If it's actually,
and so that's why I say, like, this guy is not from this country. He doesn't read Michelle Alexander book, but he claims he read and I don't. We never seen this guy with one book in his hand. You guys see my apartment. I got all my whole library and shit he's talking about. But anyway, Michelle Alexander book, The New Jim Crow. She talked about most Black people are targeted by police officers and detectives because they don't have money. They don't have money for lawyer. They take a plea. So wait, why is he talking about a lawyer? That's why you know he's out of tune with us over here at FBA. They're not like us. He got a whole different mentality in Jamaica. Lawyers probably free in Jamaica. But over here, they cost money, and most FBAs don't have lawyer money. So for him to be like, hey, you consult with a lawyer, it's like, dude, what people are you speaking on behalf of? You ain't speaking on behalf of us because, dang, our reality. We don't have lawyers. This guy, but he claimed he watched First 48 and he shows.
He's self-defense. Why would you go get a lawyer?
Because he gets a lawyer for every.
What they're going to do is they're going to bring you to the interrogation room, Stu, and they're going to
shut the fuck up.
And they.
I mean, this is a fool. I mean, really.
They're going to ask you, well, not when it's self-defense. You got to talk. That's your self-defense.
No, you don't talk. No time. You shut the fuck up.
No,
Trust me.
No, you
don't talk.
No, it's self-defense.
No, you don't have to talk. Your lawyer talk. You don't talk.
All right, hold on.
I'm not claiming self-defense. I am claiming. I
got something for you.
Okay, you get a lawyer for everything that has to do with the police.
It doesn't look
stupid
good.
People don't. It don't. No, it is not a condemnation. The law tells you that you have a right to representation, and it does not affect how you appear if your representation speaks for you. Is that the police tell people that it don't look good? You only look guilty because you don't speak. No. The Supreme Court judge in 18 something said, do not speak to the police under no condition. You never.
I see. You heard that? He said the Supreme Judge said you don't talk to the police under no condition. He said the Supreme Judge said that.
Something said, do not speak to the Supreme Court judge in 18 something said, do not speak to the police under no condition. You never speak to the police.
No, the Supreme Judge said never talk to the police under no condition. This is his claim. This is a wild, goofy claim. And the reason why I'm running it back, because I got it more organized. I was able to organize. I got it in clips. Because when we first had this discussion so many months ago, 5 months ago, I didn't know what a clip was, right? So I went back and clipped and I got it more organized and clean.
No, that's false.
But no. I want y'all to document what he's saying. He said the Supreme Court judge, whoever that is, right, said you don't talk to police officers under no condition. That's an absolute claim. Only idiots talking absolutes.
Oh, that's false. That's only if you're looked at as a suspect.
All right, so I want y'all to see my argument never wavered. I said the only time people give you that advice to don't talk to police officers is very clear. I'm very clear. The video is very clear. That advice is only given to people when they are suspects. That's been my whole argument to the guy. I made it clear, but at that time I was like kind of gullible. I wasn't really aware how like Black immigrants view FBAs. Like they kind of look at us like we're like slow, we can't get it. I didn't know. I was wet in the ears. I'm trying to keep the faith with the global economic power, the global power movement. I'm trying to push still. I didn't know that they already drew that line. So that's why I'm so patient with them.
That's when you don't talk.
Yeah,
no, right?
That's actually true.
I would find a piece of law for you now.
Okay, so he said, I will find a piece of law for you now. So he's gonna find his information to back up what he's saying. Now I'm American. I know a great deal of the law. I know what he's saying is a lie. So I'm like, yo, I don't know what you're gonna find, but I would love to share it so I can embarrass you. Like I'm salivating. Pause. Straighten.
When the judge said you do not speak to the police under no condition. No smart person.
When they say speak to the police.
Okay, you get a lawyer for everything that has to do with the police.
It doesn't look good.
People don't get. It don't. No, it is not a condemnation. The law tells you that you have a right to representation, and it does.
All right. So now he's switching it up. He said the law says you got a right to counsel representation. And I keep telling the guy, bro, you're saying stupid stuff. That's not what we're disagreeing about right now. So stop saying stuff we're not disagreeing about. So see, what happens is when you're disagreeing with somebody and when they're stupid and can't debate, argue correctly, what they would do is they will throw in other things in the argument and position it as though you're arguing against it. So he's being very disingenuous right now. He's throwing in something that I agree with, but he's positioning it like I have a problem with it. She says, no, the law says everybody got a right to counsel and representation. I'm like, bro, where'd that come from? Like, I agree. Like, why are you even saying this? We're talking about legal advice to the general American public. You're saying that legal advice advises the general American public to never talk to police officers under no condition. You said the Superior Judge, whoever this is, said he made that decree. Okay? So I'm challenging that. I'm not challenging you got the right to counsel representation. I'm not challenging that. So why are you even saying that like I am?
Does not affect how you appear if your representation speaks for you. Is that the police tell people that it don't look good, you only look guilty because you don't speak? No. The Supreme Court judge in 18 said, do not speak to the police under no condition. You never speak to the police.
He said a Supreme Court judge said that. Oh yeah, I played that yesterday. The Lord Judge. Okay, I'll play a little bit of my recap on that. Well, depending on
I would find a piece of law for you now and tell you what the judge said. You do not speak to the police under no condition.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Lord Jamar thing tomorrow, early. I'll replay it then. So again, he said he's gonna find me a link where some law officials or some attorneys, some judges recommend the American public that we don't talk to police officers under any condition. So you don't build a relationship with them. They're like robots. They're like mannequins. You just walk past them. Okay.
No smart person.
When they say speak to the police, though, it depends on what they mean by speak.
Under nothing, you don't speak to the police.
Matter of fact, I do got some Lord Jamar video today. After this foolishness, I do got some Lord Jamar film today. It won't be Professor Dave. That's tomorrow, early afternoon or early morning. But I do got something on him today that make you scratch your head.
The police. Suspect or no suspect. The first thing you say
is, in fact, I'll play it after this.
Is that I do not answer questions and I need a lawyer. Because guess what? You can never talk your way out of an arrest. So if it's a police intention to arrest you, you cannot speak your way out of an arrest.
But he just said if the police officer's intent is to arrest you, you can't speak your way out of it. Stupides. Why would a police officer want to arrest you? To arrest you, they got to first identify you as something, stupides. And that something is called a suspect. Okay? You got to identify the suspect, and then you can charge him or arrest him or do both. But you're not arresting somebody and not having a suspect. Every arrest is going to have a suspect.
That the lawyer tell you. Every lawyer, that's the first thing every lawyer will tell you. Even if you're guilty or you're innocent, you do not speak to the police.
That's another thing. I watch a lot of the Bruce Rivers lawyer reactions. Of course, I watched the lead attorney.
He was trying to downplay that I watched lawyer live channels. Like, matter of fact, I'm subscribed to a bunch on Instagram. When I did the whole record label thing, right? Guess who I was subscribed to? I was subscribed to entertainment lawyers. So he tried to clown me for listening to the professionals, but this is the same tether that would go listen to a scientist. Or matter of fact, he's the one about to play. Remember, he said the Supreme Judge said, "Don't talk to anyone." Ain't that called listening to a professional? And then he's gonna give me a link where a lawyer and a police officer is talking. How is that different than what I'm doing? We're both appealing to the law. But, you know, when tethers go wild, it gets crazy.
Watch all these things, man. And
like, what they recommend?
If you're a suspect, yes.
I would find.
My argument is the same thing. If you're a suspect, yes.
Find a piece of law for and tell you when the judge said you do not speak to the police under no condition.
All right, so that's very clear. He said he's going to find me the law now where you don't speak to the police under any condition. You heard that. That means any condition. That's an absolute statement. I'm just waiting for the video because I'm like, he's done. He's cooked like beef stew.
No smart person.
When they say speak to the police, though, it depends on what they mean by speak.
Under nothing, you don't speak to the police.
Now, so Google Scholar trying to give him a lifeline. He said when they say talk to the police, it matters what you mean because you might need to talk to the police for directions. You might need to talk to the police. You got a question about how a procedure is done in court or on the streets, like what traffic violations, whatever. You might want to know what time it is. So Google Scholar's trying to give him a lifeline. Like, now you gotta talk to a police officer. They're humans. And he doubled down. No, you walk past them like they're Nazi soldiers.
The police, though, it depends on what they mean by speak.
Under nothing, you don't speak to the police.
Okay, so he doubled down on Google Scholar. He said, under no conditions you talk to the police.
To the police. Suspect or no suspect. The first thing he said is that I do not answer questions and I need a lawyer. Because guess what?
Okay, so he said, no, Google Scholar, I don't answer questions, I need a lawyer.
You can never talk your way out of an arrest. So
if you're talking your way out of an arrest, that means you are a suspect. I mean, yeah, his argument is so, I'm doing this on purpose because some people believe this guy is somehow smart. And I'm proving this guy is an idiot. Okay, he's a plank. He's a plank. He's an idiot. He's talking about somebody getting arrested, but his original argument was nobody should talk to police officers. But every time he gives an example, it's always the guy getting arrested. How about the guy who's not getting arrested? How about the guy who's not a suspect? Give me a scenario where he shouldn't talk to the police officer. Why do you keep giving me scenarios of the suspect shouldn't talk to the police officer? So he's agreeing with my argument, but he's casting it as though that's not what I'm agreeing with or agreeing to.
There's a police intention to arrest you. You cannot speak your way out of an arrest. That the lawyer tell you. Every lawyer, that's the first thing every lawyer will tell you. Even if you're guilty or you're innocent, you do not speak to the police.
That's another thing. I watch.
So every lawyer will tell you. Every lawyer tell you that.
All right, so that's another absolute statement. He said every lawyer will tell you this. Oh my God. Like he's just burying himself further. This is how you don't debate, okay? If y'all want any debate advice, this is how you don't debate.
So every lawyer will tell you. Every lawyer tell you that. Innocent or guilty, you do not speak to the police.
That's not.
Every lawyer would say that. Remember that. Remember what he's saying, his talking points.
How that works. So for example, if I'm in Walmart and the shooting happened, right? And I know I ain't do it. And the police officer say, "Hey, can I talk to you in the station?" Yeah. You know, if I want to, yeah.
No,
but what I'm saying is
that's you did something wrong. What you did, you just went against your best interest. Because it's
hey, Google Scholar, if I seen this guy rob an old lady and shoot her and he ran off, and I was probably the only witness. And the officer said, "Hey, man, we want to get your you know, we're gonna be tried with. I'm gonna go down there and talk, and I won't be in trouble because I know who did it.
That's not true either, because
he said that's not true. Is this bird brain listening? He said that's not true.
I can find a case law for you that young men.
He said that's not true because I can find a case of a young man, and he never found that case, by the way. Yeah, I heard the live, the uncut version earlier.
Investigation.
Yeah, and if
go
you
with your lawyer. You know you get a lawyer to help you explain that you weren't there. You don't speak to the police under no condition.
Nah, I disagree with that. So okay, so let me ask you this: if you're married, your wife get murdered in the home, and they say, "Hey, Stu Pease, we want to bring you downtown to talk to you about your wife's murder." And you know, goddamn well, you ain't do it. And you know
the only way I speak to the police under that circumstance is if at that time I was nowhere near the residence, and I can prove that I was nowhere near the residence.
Right?
Wait, but that just contradicts your earlier position. You said the lawyers advised you never talk to police officers under any condition, and now you're giving me one condition. This is what I'm trying to say. A lot of you guys are not ready. You just said earlier, you said the Supreme Judge advised, and you said every lawyer advised, never talk to police officers under any condition. And you just gave me one condition. You just contradicted your original position. I get them every time.
I do not speak to the police. You do not speak to the police.
Yes, you can.
It does not. No, you cannot. It does not end well for you.
First of all,
investigation.
Yeah, and if
go
you
with your lawyer. You know you get a lawyer to help you explain that you weren't there. You don't speak to the police under no condition.
Nah.
You hear me? Nah.
Supreme Court Justice Robert, what's Robert Jackson. You can look.
Okay, so he's sourcing up now. He says Supreme Court Justice Robert Jackson. This is where we're gonna buy him a tombstone, okay? Get him a tombstone. He just gave us a name. Supreme Court Justice Robert Jackson. I'll rewind it. I want y'all to see this is a clear one-sided debate.
Justice Robert Court Justice.
Back it up.
The police is investigating something.
Supreme Court Justice Robert, what's Robert Jackson. You can look him up. This is what he wrote, and this is when he wrote it. He said, any lawyer worth his salt will tell the suspect in no uncertain suspect mean the person of the police.
Okay, so he just messed up. He said Robert Jackson will tell the suspect. So I'm like, bingo, you just lost. Remember, that was my position the entire argument. I said only suspects are advised to never talk to police. You said no, it's everyone, the American public. I said no, it's just suspects. You said you're going to go get Supreme Court Justice Robert Jackson and quote him that he's going to say no one under any condition should talk to law enforcement. So I'm waiting for that. But instead, he read only suspects. So his source, his lawyer, just agreed with him by sports, myself. Just agreed with me that only suspects. One more time, y'all missed it. It's for the slow folks. Listen, this is his source.
Your words is salt. This is when he wrote it. He said, any court justice, Robert.
All right, we're ready. Come on, computer.
All right.
If the police is investigating something,
Supreme Court Justice Robert, what's Robert Jackson, you can look him up. This is what he wrote, and this is when he wrote it. He said, any lawyer worth his salt will tell the suspect.
The suspect. Will tell the suspect. Will tell the suspect. Will tell the suspect. He's done. Get him out of here, man. And he's too stew peas to understand what he just said.
Lawyer worth his salt will tell the suspect in no uncertain suspect. Suspect mean the person that the police is questioning.
No.
Yo, he just redefined what suspect means. He said suspect means the person the police is questioning. No, the police can question you, but you're not a suspect. Okay, again, they can say, hey, did you see what happened at Popeyes? That means that he's looking at you as an eyewitness. Like this guy, like I said, I don't know the Jamaican rules, right? I'm speaking about American land, the land of America rules. If an officer talks to you, that does not mean you're a suspect. You can be just a citizen, you could be an eyewitness, or you could be a suspect. Okay? So he's under the impression that you must be a suspect if police officers talk to you. I'm sorry if you live in Jamaica and you feel that way. But we're talking about the best country in human memory. Okay, we're talking about America. When the police officers talk to you, that does not mean you're a suspect.
What's Robert Jackson? You can look him up. This is what he wrote, and this is when he wrote it. He said, any lawyer worth his salt will tell the suspect in no uncertain suspect. Suspect mean the person that the police is questioning.
No.
So suspect means the person, like this guy just full of shit, man.
No. That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong.
No, you're
So you got Google Scholar, UK. He like that's where you're wrong. So like we know he's wrong, but this Jamaican pride, whatever he got going on, he just can't. And he really has his issue. He just can't say, "Oh, okay, all right." This was not our talking point or subject any time of this 5-hour live. We were not talking about this. I was making another point. We were actually talking about your Second Amendment rights in self-defense. So I was making a point about that, about, once you claim self-defense, you go into the interrogation room and you talk to the detective. No, you never do that. I mean, why? Because the lawyer said you never talk to police, and that's how we got here. I'm like, dude, you're a liar. That's not what lawyers say. And he just read Robert Jackson say, give advice to suspects. He did not give advice to the general public.
You're wrong. Suspect's the person they think did the crime.
Yes.
And look, and he said exactly what I just said. I kept saying suspect.
He read it. He read it. No. This is no. I'm reading what the justice says. But then if you go to other things, they say, why shouldn't you talk to the police? And this is just type it into Google. Why shouldn't you talk to the police? If you talk to them, you can accidentally confess to wrongdoing or give them enough details to charge you.
Yeah, he said, again, I don't know what happens in Jamaica. He said if you talk to a police officer, you can accidentally confess to a crime. Hold on. If you never committed a crime, how can you accidentally commit a crime? So I will agree, if you actually committed a crime, then you shouldn't be talking to police officers because that can possibly happen. You talk too much and then you mention what you did, but we're not talking about criminals. Remember, Stupees? You're talking about the general public. Only I'm talking about suspects. You're talking about the general public. Now watch this. Let's read the definition of suspect. All right? Because he got to be disingenuous just to win. He don't want to be right. He wants to win. Okay, look. Suspect. A person thought to be guilty. I mean, why are we arguing this? Why are we here? Like, this is pathetic, man. But this is what they stoop down to try to win, get a W on us FBAs. They will cheat, lie, steal, and defraud just to get a corny, illegitimate win against somebody, you know, an FBA. This is corny, man. Not to be relied on or trusted, possibly dangerous or false. Look at this. A person thought to be guilty of a crime or offense. Again, they're thought to be guilty. So yeah, so people who police officers think are guilty, they shouldn't talk to police officers. But these people are called suspects. If an officer doesn't think you're guilty of a crime, you're not a suspect. He's just trying to gather more information about what happened during the crime scene. I mean, we're talking to a complete fool. Then he's gonna redefine suspect just to be right, just to win. Actually, I don't debate you to win necessarily. I debate to be correct.
It is there that everybody tells us under
That's the
no
Fourth Amendment.
circumstances.
Stupid. That's
And
the
it's a
Fourth
justice.
Amendment.
It's a justice tell you, sir. If a justice tell you, sir, under no circumstances,
Okay.
you should speak to the police.
Okay. Now he keeps saying a judge said it. We don't see a judge. You didn't give a link to a judge. You gave a link to a lawyer. Okay. And this lawyer said suspect. And that's something you got to live with, my boy. Like this is I know it hurts to losing me, but unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Tupac. All right. So now hold on. Brace yourself. We got more stupidity coming up. And it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. It's going to get worse, worse. And with that, this is gonna be a short live. We ain't gonna be here too long. Like I wanted to just put the nail in the coffin on this guy.
Mentally conflict.
Stupid. That's
And
the
it's a
Fourth
justice.
Amendment.
It's a justice tell you, sir. If a justice tell you, sir, under no circumstances, you should speak to the police.
Nah.
You
No,
chat to the
listen,
police.
without stupid, you're leaving out one important part. Without representation.
No, even with representation, even with
Oh,
because
he's bugging. Yeah, y'all never seen an interrogation with a lawyer there? Even the Central Five. A lot of those guys had a lawyer with them. What is this guy talking about? Yeah, that's very common for people, suspects, to go talk to police officers with a lawyer with them. What are you talking? Yeah, what this guy? This guy's mad.
That's that black college advice right there.
No,
no,
I don't know.
let me
I
tell you
don't know
why.
what you're talking about, stupid.
Let me tell you
Sometimes you
why.
have no
Everybody's like,
choice.
yo, you bugging, yo.
Let me tell you why you don't speak to them.
They're not gonna make up some
With or
reason.
without representation. It is not my
No,
duty.
don't make it up. Show us the judge you claim who said never talk to police officers under any condition, when you yourself said you would talk to them under one condition. So you're going against what you believe is true.
To help you with the investigation.
That's not the
Oh, you
point.
speak to the police. Okay,
No, it
continue.
actually is. If you don't like crime in your neighborhood, like we have neighborhood watches for a reason. Like no, it is your duty as a neighborhood watchman, watchwoman, is to get rid of the people who are committing crime. If you see a guy a burglar,
Stupid. That's
And
the
it's a
Fourth
justice.
Amendment.
It's a justice tell you, sir. If a justice tell you, sir, under no circumstances, you should speak to the police.
nah.
You
No,
chat to the
listen,
police.
without stupid, you're leaving out one important part. Without representation.
A buffoon.
Mentally conflict.
Yeah, but
If you're a good lawyer,
but most criminals don't testify at the trial. So what you talking about?
them talk to the police before the trial and then put themselves in a location approximate to where the case where the key where the situation occurred.
Yeah,
And
but
because of
they don't
proximity,
testify. They don't get cross.
no, but although they don't get cross-examined, the evidence that they expose, what they said to the police, can be used in a court of law. So although they don't testify, the police can say during the interview with Michael Smith,
Yeah. So
he
it
said
goes
that he was XYZ. They can
this
use
is
the
what it
information.
is.
Yeah, but
If you're a good lawyer,
but most criminals don't testify at the trial. So what you
when the police ask you any question pertaining to any matter,
Okay,
whether you
that's an absolute statement. Any case, any matter.
involved in it or not, shut up your mouth. Don't don't answer no question. Because if you were supposed to be an eyewitness, he would not have to come to you because eyewitnesses go to the police. So the mere fact that the police come to you, he's not seeing you as an eyewitness.
Now that
He's
happens,
seeing
no,
you
yes,
as a
but they knock
suspect.
on doors.
I don't know what Stupid is talking about
All
now.
right, go.
He said eyewitnesses come to the station. I said, no. I said, they come and knock on the police officers don't wait for them to come to the station. They knock on your door.
Go to black man. Black man, when the police come asking a question, jump up and volunteer.
So you're saying that if the
Okay.
police didn't see you as an eyewitness, they wouldn't come and knock on your door?
No. Eyewitnesses are voluntary. You eyewitnesses go to the police. The police don't go for eyewitnesses.
So you're saying nobody ever can.
When the police ask you any question, go to the police. The police don't go for eyewitnesses.
So you're saying nobody ever convinced anybody who was an eyewitness to testify? Is that what you're
They
saying?
do that all the time in the
Yeah.
black
Silly
community.
people. Silly people. Silly people.
Yeah, that happens in the black community more than ever. Like they come to the eyewitnesses
Silly
don't come
people.
forward.
Silly
They
people.
come to the eyewitnesses in the black community to encourage them to
Come
tell.
testify, yeah.
I will tell a black man this. If you're a black man, if he's a black grandmother or a black older man, yeah man, the police come to you, you can talk anything you want to talk. But if he's a
Yes,
black young man, no. If he's a black young man between the ages of 16 to 28, if the police ask you any question, shut up your mouth.
that's that
Don't
black
even say
collar.
a word.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
blackology.
definitely allergy.
It's not blackology. And if
Allergy.
I would love for him, because if he even go to the police don't go for mentally confess to wrongdoing or give YouTube. Go on YouTube. We're not going to play the video. Go on YouTube now and type in. I used to white lawyer telling this. Should you ever talk to the police?
They want to get paid.
Should you? No. I'm talking about police. There's this one on YouTube now with this police and this lawyer. This police and this lawyer, and they were
Give me that link.
having a roundtable discussion.
I
No.
guarantee
They were having a roundtable discussion at law school to student lawyers.
Give me the link.
And they were
I will
telling
play it right
student
now.
lawyers
I
that you know.
guarantee. Hey Google, I
You bet
guarantee
me?
I guarantee you they talking about a suspect. They're not talking about an
No, they're not
eyewitness.
talking about no suspect. You're ready? Let me find the video.
Yeah, find that.
Let me find the video. Because
Some of the stuff Stupid is saying is valid, but he's putting the blackology on top of it and
no, I'm
taking.
not putting the background on it. Eh? Listen to camera. YouTube. Go on YouTube. We're not going to play the video. Go on YouTube now and type in. I used to white lawyer telling this. Should you ever talk to the police?
Hey Google,
You bet me?
I guarantee you they talking about a suspect. They're not talking about an
No, they're not
eyewitness.
talking about no suspect. You ready? Let me find the video.
Yeah, find that.
Let me find the video.
Find
Because
Some of the time, some of the stuff still people saying is valid, but
A prosecutor's prosecutor. Like me, he began his private practice in Buffalo, New York, years before I did. And after that, he served as general counsel for the Bureau of Internal Revenue, the U.S. Department.
So this is Stu P's link right here.
A prosecutor's prosecutor. Like me, he began his private practice in Buffalo, New York, years before I did. And after that, he served as general counsel for the Bureau of Internal Revenue, the U.S. Department of Treasury, the Security and Exchange Commission, assistant U.S. Attorney General for the Tax Division. Later this...
Matter of fact, as I'm playing this video, I'm coming up with more ideas to make it better and funnier. Because he's just so stupid. So this ain't the last you're gonna hear about this. I'm sorry. I know it's corny because the guy's an idiot, but I gotta do this. I can't allow him to hop on platforms and pretend like he's smart.
Solicitor General and the Attorney General of the United States, and then the Chief U.S. Prosecutor for the Nuremberg trials. That's an impressive resume. Years later, when he was a justice on the Supreme Court, Justice Jackson stated, quote, any lawyer worth his salt, today we would say his or her, will tell the suspect, his client.
Suspect.
Now, he says suspect. So the first guy he played said suspect. Now this guy says suspect. And I said, he said suspect. Watch what Stu P says next. It's not going to shock you. Listen. Because remember, he said when he first started off, he positioned that none of them are speaking about suspects.
Will tell the suspect, his client.
Now you see how I caught it. I said, he said suspect.
Suspect.
Suspect don't mean nothing. Tell the person.
Now a suspect doesn't mean anything. Just to win, not to be correct. Just to win. A suspect means nothing.
Continue.
No.
Continue playing it.
I will.
You're looking for
Now that he's losing, he's trying to bully me now. So remember the original arguments. The original argument was he said lawyers and the Supreme Court justice guy, they will all advise the American public to never talk to the police about anything. Okay. I said, bro, I think you're misrepresenting that. I said, I think they just talk about a few people, but one of these persons are a suspect. He said, no, they're not talking nothing about suspects. And so far from the two videos we played, all we heard was suspect. And this guy had a nerve just to keep talking.
I'm trying to. All right. Okay. Tell you what. Don't play it.
Okay, so now he's getting emotional. Don't play it.
All right. So,
But
I just want to point. I got you. I just want to point out because
continue.
Is,
no, continue. Continue.
Hey, stupid. Your feelings. Hold on.
No, I'm not in my feelings. I'm not in my feelings because guess what? No. I listen to it, so I can't be in my feelings.
Let me say something. So, Google Scott, I just wanted to highlight that is exactly what I said before we played it. I said that's good advice for a suspect. I said that 1,000 times on his live. And the first thing he said was suspect. He didn't say eyewitness.
Okay.
He said, so I'll play it, but
All right, so that's pretty much that. I got some funny stuff to add to it. So I'll probably do it over, but it won't be live. I'll just upload it as a video. You dig? But he's out of here. Like I made him look like a fool. Okay, but not worse than Lord Jamal and Professor D. That was just my God. All right, FBA family, Adolf Friedman, and even the allies. Okay, you don't got to be FBA to come over here and chop it up with us. Okay, we embrace you as families as well. Just as long as you ain't trying to undermine what we got going on, you can be embraced as family. You dig? So with that being said, like I said, I wasn't planning on being live long. I wanted to do something else, but I knew it would take maybe just too long. All right. I know this was a boring one. I'm sorry. But tomorrow, I'm gonna do the Lord tomorrow stuff. I might go live early.